Hi guys, it's Amy with A to Z Stamping, and today I'm doing a Christmas card for you using the Beautiful Baubles stamp set. Can you guys believe it's time to start thinking about Christmas cards again? I can't believe it. This year seems to be flying by. Well, I was playing around with this set, which I love. This is a brand new stamp set out of the 2018 holiday catalog. And I just loved this big ornament. It gives us a chance to do some coloring, and I'm going to be using the Stampin Blends. And I thought I'd show you guys what I came up with. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is our stamping. And I'm actually going to be using this big ornament here. There are coordinating thinlits with this set. They're called Detailed Bauble Thinlits dies. They look like this. I'm actually not going to be using them for this card. I will be doing a class with this stamp set probably in October. So be watching for that if you're interested, and it will use the whole bundle. But I thought I'd show you one just with simple stamping. So I'm going to be using this, and I'm going to be using the Merry Christmas and Happy New Year sentiment. All right, so I've got that right here, and I'm going to stamp that in my Memento ink. So let me go ahead and grab that out. Whenever you're using the blends, you want to use the Memento ink. And I just need a scrap piece. Right here is a scrap piece. So I'm going to ink this guy up. I love big ornaments like this. And I thought when I saw this stamp set, I knew I had to have this one just because I knew this stamp in particular would be a lot of fun to work with. Okay, so that looks nice and inked up. And since this is a photopolymer stamp, I'm going to grab my foam mat just so it stamps a little bit nicer. And let's see how it looks right here. So let's press and lift. And that looks perfect. I grab my chamois here, clean off my stamp, and that is ready to be put away. So simple. All right, that's all I need of the Memento ink. So I'm actually going to close that up. And I'm going to grab my Real Red ink right here to stamp the sentiment. So I'm going to set that aside. And I have this little tiny piece of Whisper White cardstock, and let me give you the measurements here if you really would like it. It's 1 3/4 by 1/2 inch. And let's see if I can do this on the first shot. So I'm going to ink it up in the Real Red. And hopefully you're not looking at my head, but you might be, because I really want to line this up, try to get this right. I'm going to move it a little bit closer to me. And we're going to stamp and lift. Oh, it's a little bit too far to the bottom. So remember, the nice thing is there's always two sides to every paper. I'm not, actually this could work, but I'm going to try one more time on the other side just to see if I can get it a little tiny bit better. I'm going to move it a little bit closer to me. I'm not even sure you can see it anymore, just because I want to do my best to try to get it right in the middle. The nice thing about the photopolymer is you can see through them, but you really got to look right over the top. Oops. There we go. Well, that looks almost about the same. Does it look the same? No, this one looks better. All right, so I'm going to go with this one. So I'm just going to set that aside. Let me clean off my stamp here with my chamois. Scrub, 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 and that's all clean and ready to be put away. All right, so I'm going to close up my ink because that's all I need that for. And now we have to color our ornament. So whenever you're using the blends, you might want to stick a piece of paper underneath. So I have some grid paper here. I wouldn't say they're going to bleed all over your desk, but they can come through, so it's nice to have something over the top. So I grabbed some of our Stampin' Blends markers. I'll show you what I grabbed. I grabbed two, the light and the dark of the shaded spruce, the light and the dark of the Real Red. I have Crumb Cake in the dark, and I have the basic black, and this is the dark. So that's what I grabbed. And I'm just going to go ahead and color in my ornament. So this is going to take a little bit of time. So I'll probably maybe speed it up on the video. I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, with the blends, it's so quick. So I'm going to just go ahead and color this in. Okay. Some people say coloring is very therapeutic. I'm not sure if I agree with that or not, but I don't consider myself a super good colorer. Is that a word? My mom's a really good artist. I did not inherit that gift. So stuff like that I find kind of difficult, but I have to say the Stampin' Blends sort of changed my coloring life because they make coloring in things like this so much easier. At first, I was a little skeptical. They came out just a little under a year ago, and I thought, oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to need those since I'm not a color, and I have to say, they're pretty amazing. And I love that there's a light and dark. I'll be honest, I haven't totally gotten into like the shading and all that because I really don't know how to do it. I need to just play around with it. And I'm sure I'll get the hang of it because I've seen some really cool projects that way. So are you guys starting to get ready with your Christmas cards? I know it's really popular, it has been for a while, to do photo Christmas cards like that you order from Costco or wherever. I do those too, the Christmas cards with the pictures of my kids. Excuse me. And I love to send that to friends and family. But I love having a few handmade Christmas cards because there are some people in our life that maybe it's not totally appropriate. I mean, not that it would be inappropriate, but we don't really need to give them a picture of our children. I'm gonna grab the basic black here just to color the top. Like the male people and some people, like my husband's employees that I've never even met, things like that. So I'm glad that I have the handmade Christmas cards to give to those people. Especially for the people that I'm giving them a gift with it. I don't know. I just like having the handmade cards. So I do online classes, card making classes. Typically we make 6 cards in a class. And you order the class packet and I mail all the materials to you. And then I send you a link to a YouTube video. It's a private link. And we do the class together. So these never go out to the public. I don't later decide everyone can just have it for free. And it's a pretty good setup. It works really well. You can pause it. You can just watch it through and then try to do it yourself. There's a million different ways. And you can watch the video as many times as you want. So it's quite nice. So if you think you might be needing a few handmade Christmas cards, you may want to check out. I'll probably start my Christmas card classes in October. So be watching for those. If you subscribe to my newsletter, I always say what my next class is going to be in there. And then obviously on my YouTube channel, I post the classes, and on Instagram. And typically lately I've been doing the classes every other week. And that schedule has been working pretty good for me. I used to do them weekly, but that started to be quite a lot. Okay, let's see here. Let's go ahead and color all of these ones crumb cake. Why not? Okay, and then, so that was the dark crumb cake, and then I just need to finish up with the real red. So I'm going to grab the light first. And let's go with these guys. But I imagine you could do this ornament with so many different colors. It would be so pretty. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be pretty to emboss this? Heat emboss it. So stamp it with your Versamark and then do even the black embossing powder or silver, something along those lines. And then to color it in, that would be so pretty. I might have to try that and play around with it. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a class with this stamp set. So that would be kind of fun. We'll have to see. I'm going to just stick a little red over here. Do I want to do these all? I guess it doesn't matter. Let's do them all in the light real red. So anyway, like I said, the coloring is what takes the longest. But if you were going to do this for a whole bunch of Christmas cards, it might be fun one night. You know, you could be watching TV, stamp all these out, and then all you would need to do is go ahead and, oh, I don't think I did the light green. Let's go ahead and do the light shaded spruce. That's what's missing here. Then you could just sit while you're watching TV one night and go ahead and color it all in. It'd be done quite quickly. You could also get your kids involved if you had kids that were old enough that they were very good colorers. Okay, anything else I want to do in the light green? Actually, I'm going to make this one right here. The light green, there we go. And then last, I'll go with the dark real red. Okay, so I am getting ready for Halloween, though. I know it's not even Halloween, just about. So starting on the 1st, so just a couple days away, I work the whole month of October at a local pumpkin patch. I love it. And so I'll be busy doing that in the month of October. So I won't have a ton of time to be thinking about Christmas cards. But we always can make time for crafting, right? I love that when they say, when people are always like, oh, I don't have time. Well, people have time to do the things they love, right? So if you were really interested in crafting, scrapbooking, card making, whatever it is, you would make the time, right? And that's kind of what I do. I find it therapeutic and fun. Plus, I'm an all-boy mom. Not sure if you all know that. I have 2 boys and a husband who are all great, but I'm the only girl here. And so this gives me an opportunity to sort of go do something girly. I go in my craft room and do stuff like this, and they try to be supportive. I make them look at things that I make, and they're like, oh, okay. I don't think they totally get it, but they're at least kind of nice about it. All right, there we go. So that is my ornament. Whew, that took forever, right? Now see, this is what I'm talking about. It's kind of comes through the back of your paper. It didn't bleed through, but if you had a nice table or something, you wouldn't want to risk it. All right, so if you stuck it out with me that long, thank you. So I'm gonna grab my Big Shot out, and we're gonna go ahead and actually I'm gonna put it through this way because we're gonna cut out this ornament. And you know what? I need to grab my layering circles. I did not grab those out, so let me grab them real quick. Here they are. I'm grabbing the layering circles frameless dies. And we're gonna go ahead and cut out the ball. Let's see, is that the one I wanna do? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna cut out the ball right here, this ornament. And let me grab my scissors because I don't need this right here, because I want to also cut out a scallop circle to mat it. We might as well do it all at the same time. All right, so we're cutting out this with this circle, and then we're going to cut out in real red cardstock, and I have a piece right here. We're going to cut out a scallop right here, and we'll do them both at the same time. I'll just put my, oh, that doesn't look quite straight. Put this right over the top and run it through. Sorry, you guys, you're gonna look at my arm for a second. All right, and those are done, so I can put this back. 1 and 2. All right, so now let's go ahead and put our circles back so we don't lose them back into the package. And actually, you know what? Now that I look, I need the Big Shot one more time. So let me slide these in. Move all this stuff aside. I want to emboss a piece. So I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock here, and this is cut at 5 by 3 3/4, and I want to emboss it with this embossing folder. I forget what it's called. I think quilted something. It's at the bottom of your screen, and I'm gonna just go ahead and line my paper up in here because I want it straight, and close it. And I'll grab my Big Shot one more time. And when you're embossing, you just want to use your regular platform and a cutting plate. Feed your embossing folder the closed end in, top plate, and run it through. All right. And when we open it up, look at that. Isn't that so cool? I love that. All right, and now we can put our card together. So let me get all my scraps out of the way. Okay, so we're gonna start with a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5, and we'll go ahead and fold it over. It's thundering and lightning outside. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's raining so hard. The rain is so loud. I guess it's that time of year, isn't it? Okay, my card's gonna open this way. Next, I have a piece of real red cardstock, and this is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm going to mount our emboss piece. So with anything embossed, you want to put adhesive on all 4 sides, just so that it doesn't curl on you. So I'm going to go ahead and mount that right here onto the real red. Oops, come on. Okay. Then I have another piece of real red cardstock. And this one is cut at, let's see, this one's cut at 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And since it's going onto emboss piece, we're going to do all 4 sides. And this is going to go right here in the center, and it'll line up. Actually, it's not going to be quite the center. I'm going to go down a little bit, so I have more of the embossed part showing on the top and the bottom. It's going to go right all the way to the edge of the red. That didn't seem super straight. Let me line it up this way. There we go. Okay, then I have a piece of designer series paper. This is from the All is Bright paper, and it's posted at the bottom. I think it's called All is Bright, new 2018 holiday catalog. It's one of the designer series paper packs, goes with the suite. And I like the side just with the polka dots. That brought in the red, the real red. It's got cherry cobbler, the different greens, the crumb cake, so it brings in all the colors we did of our ornament. And this one here should be 5 1/4 by 2 1/2, and it is. See how the other side looks like real Christmas tree? Isn't that cool with ornaments on it? So again, this is going to go all the way to the edge, so I'm going to line it up this way. Okay, so that looks like that. And let's go ahead and grab our little sentiment that we stamped. Wait, which one am I using? I'm using that side, so I'm going to put adhesive on it, and it's going onto this little tiny piece of real red. So this would be 3/4 by 2, I believe. Yep. And this, we're going to put adhesive on the back. It's going to go right here in the bottom right corner. Okay, and then we're going to grab our little ornament, and we'll go ahead and put this onto that scalloped circle. We probably could have done a little bit smaller circle. This would have fit, or used the, we also could have used the Thinlit to actually cut the ornament out, but I liked bringing in a lot of the white. So this barely fits on here. Okay, there we go. So let us put some dimensionals on the back of this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and this is going to go right here on the front, like so. All right, then we're going to grab the real red solid ribbon. Looks like I'm almost out here. And we're going to tie the tiniest little bow. So I'm going to do the bunny ear method, make 2 bunny ears. Actually, I need to do it a little bit bigger. I'm going to make a really tiny bow, but in order to tie it, I need the loops a little bit bigger just so I can get my fingers around them. Okay, there we go. So I want to do just the tiniest little bow though. So I want this one to be really small, really small, really small. Okay, and pull it tight. Even smaller than that. Okay, that looks cute. And we're gonna cut it off and cut this side off. There's my cute little tiny bow, and I'm gonna grab a mini glue dot. Now with a little tiny bow like this, if the mini glue dot might even be a little bit bigger, that's okay. What I do is I stick it on and then kind of fold it in half. That's the nice thing about the glue dots. So you won't even see it. And this is gonna go right here at the top of our ornament. And then to finish it off, I have these little dots. These are from the Santa's Workshop. The Santa's Workshop enamel something. Anyway, again, at the bottom of your screen. And where did my piercing tool go? Here it goes. And we're going to stick some of these cute little dots. So these enamel shapes are cool. They come in white, red, and green. It's one sheet. There's also bows and snowflakes. The snowflakes are so pretty. They are meant to coordinate with the Santa's Workshop, but I think they work with a lot of the sweets. Anyway, we're going to stick these 3 little dots right here on the snowflake. And you could do more in other places if you want, but that is going to be it for me. That is my card. Isn't that so sweet? Oh, no. You guys, I do this all the time. We need to mount this onto our card base. Were you yelling at the screen? Duh. Let's go ahead and stick it on our card base. That would be good to do. It's gonna go on here. There we go. I thought something was missing, the card. Okay. This is our cute little card there, and that brings more white, which brightens it up. Isn't that adorable? Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And here's one I did earlier, which my coloring is a little bit different. It's not exactly the same. But I just love how this turned out. Want to see it up close? Isn't that so cute? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check out my blog, a2zstamping.com. Thanks, guys. Bye.